You have AVP outstanding, Pathfinder.
I got the popcorn, and whatever Graxon is.
Thank you. I owe Cora for letting me use her clearance. This'll be fun, like watching vids with Sid when she was little.
Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
For survival supplies, only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city? I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested quinoa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Settlers on Kadara are suffering from a bacterial infection. They need Angaran antibiotics to fight it. A medic in the city should be able to help.
Got it. They'll have that medicine in no time.
Eladin's water purifier can't keep up with demand. They're requesting one of those Angaran ionic filters. There are engineers who work in the aqueducts here. I'll bet they have what we need.
On it. One filter coming up.
When you have a moment, Pathfinder, this is a tremendous honor. I must express my admiration for all you've done. Crossing the void between galaxies, navigating the Scourge to find Aya. Incredible.
The odds were against us, that's for sure.
Yet here we are, strangers from different galaxies conversing in friendship. Extraordinary. I am Mariko Darej, Chief Voneron.
It's a privilege to meet you. Tell me about yourself.
I'm something of a pathfinder myself. I am a celestial observer, charting the movements of stars, planets, and the Scourge.
An astronomer. You know the safe routes out there?
We deploy satellites that alert us to new hazards and opportunities. But we've lost contact with several key observers. They've simply stopped. I sent a vessel to scan their last known locations, but nothing's been found. Your Tempest is highly advanced. I hoped you could aid our search.
Even Pathfinders need a good map. I'll look into it.
I knew you'd understand. I'll provide search nav points. And when I can finally reconcile our charts with fresh satellite data, I'll gladly share all we have.
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. Can out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I assume you're trained for first contact diplomacy.
I'm a social anthropologist with a linguistics background. Close enough for Director Tan. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
If something's wrong, I need to know.
Maybe you can help me fix it. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
Aside from Sorvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
The ambassador's messages are overflowing again.
Weird question. You don't have any Kiloa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You can send messages, talk to them on the comm. We'll even arrange a visit.
You get it. All right. I'm in.
Do you work on water filtration here?
I designed the system for it.
Can you sell me an ionic filter? My people need it on Eladin.
If they're tough enough for Eladin, they deserve help. Here. Efra should have come to me.
Shh, Axel, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's he doing here?
I asked the Moshai to set up a meeting. I don't want us to be enemies.
Is this true?
Axel, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. He risked his life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I want to be allies. Equal allies.
You don't even treat your own equally. Isn't that why the Krogan left?
How did you...
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Axel... He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
There's still time to bring him around.
I want to believe that, but his hatred towards aliens...
I'll prove we can be trusted.
I hope so.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
I found the device Ven was using to communicate with the Archon. I think we can use it to triangulate that Ket flagship's nav point.
All you have to do now is board it, steal the Meridian artifact, and escape in one piece.
You've been there. Tell me what to expect.
I saw very little. Corridors, an interrogation room, my prison cell. The Archon's vessel is a place of pain and death for the Ket's enemies. No one has attempted anything like this before. For all our sakes, you must succeed. Now it's my turn. Evra informed me that the despot of Kadara Port, one of your people, executed Ven Terev.
Sloane isn't with my people, and she doesn't speak for us.
Her actions spoke loud enough. She had no right to kill Ven. What he did was inexcusable, not unforgivable. This isn't what I wanted. Regardless, it's done.
Any ideas on how we stop the Ket for good?
The real question is, how do we define victory over them? Complete eradication? Unlikely, costly, and morally dubious. Drive them away? How? What stops them from returning?
Peaceful coexistence doesn't seem to be an option.
There's much we still don't know. The Ket are not a simple problem. We can't reduce them to a simple solution.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about me intrigues you?
What are you working on these days?
I thought being a Ket prisoner was the worst fate imaginable. Then I got home and saw my backlog. A Valek comes in every so often asking if I have a second. At this rate, I'll never catch up. To answer your question, I'm busy with everything and nothing. We'll see which wins.
You're an expert on several topics. Remnant, Ket, stuff I don't even know exists.
All true. Why? Do you want to be my student?
Is that an option? Because I didn't train for this job. At all.
Yet you do it well. There are two kinds of knowing. What we take in from the universe, and what's already inside us. You have the essentials figured out. The rest you can learn as you go.
Are you originally from Aya, or someplace else?
I was born on a research vessel in deep space. My parents were explorers. They never stayed in one place long. My own work has taken me to every world, many times over. They all try to claim me as their own, but if I'm honest, my favorite chair is here.
You and my crewmate have a close relationship. Any advice? Hints?
He talks in his sleep. Worth it for the look on your face. Jarl is a dear and hopeless former student. He has a good spirit. You're lucky to have him, that's all.
My translator doesn't know what to do with your title, Moshai.
Because it isn't a title, it's a reference. People from mythological times, before the Scourge. Legends say we once had many Moshai. Master inventors of unfailing wisdom, guided by boundless compassion.
That's a lot to live up to.
It's nonsense. Don't remember who first called me Moshai, but I do recall telling them to shut up. To my regret, the name stuck. I've minded less lately. Being the Moshai has its uses.
When the Ket are gone, if we fix all these worlds, what do the Angara want?
Depends who you ask. We're individuals. Paran will continue spreading hope and optimism. I don't know what Ephra will do without an enemy to fight. Retirement won't suit him. As for me, maybe I'll just fade away. That's what people do when they're no longer needed, right?
Thank you, Moshai.
Ishare.
Hello, Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
I picked this up. Any idea what it might be?
How in the skies did you find an Angaran star map? One that still works, even. It must be pre-Scourge. If we analyze it, we can learn where our people traveled before the Dark Age.
Do you know much about where your ancestors traveled?
No, not at all. The Scourge wiped out nearly everything. We're only just beginning to travel again.
Could they have made it to another galaxy, like us?
It's possible. For all we know, there are entire Angaran worlds beyond our reach.
I picked up this figure earlier. It might be Angaran.
This is unfamiliar to me. It does resemble an Angara, but it looks so strange. It's clearly centuries old. Is it an artistic interpretation, or is this what we really look like? The implications. Pathfinder, you may have discovered our earliest artifact yet.
Could it be a relic from another culture?
The technique and material matches other Angaran relics, and you found it in one of our worlds. But perhaps the depiction isn't an Angara. It could be a deity of some sort.
Is this Angaran? I found it on one of your homeworlds.
Son above. It's an ancient Ravan, a musical instrument. It uses Angara's body energy to produce music. We have them now, but nothing this beautiful. The songs it played were probably lost long ago. How much culture have we forgotten? Art, music, stories, it's all gone.
You're already rebuilding. Look at Aya.
We have a long way to go. In any case, relics like this help us. You've given me more to study than I ever expected. I've got a lot of work ahead. Thank you for your help, Pathfinder. I'll let you know if I discover anything. Good to see you again.
I should get moving.
Come back soon.
I love seeing our Milky Way peeps mingling with the Angara. It's early in our interspecies relationship, but I hope we can build on the momentum.
We have an amazing opportunity, and a great responsibility.
Whoa, that's your inspiring voice. You really can't turn off diplomat mode once it's on, can you? Just riding you, Ryder. Keep up the good work.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
We'll take every precaution, but entering an alien environment is always a risk.
I appreciate your honesty, and so will my family. I'll convince them to let me go. Thank you.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ambassador Riala sent me to check on you. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a ket. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
Sounds like there's more to this. Don't suppose you caught his name?
Didn't ask, didn't want it, didn't need it. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters. See if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
No entering the med center until you're clean.
You're not supposed to be here.
Rorik sent me to find you. He wanted me to give you this cryo bracelet.
Rorik? I don't want it. Take it away. I want nothing to do with Rorik. With any of you.
You've been through a lot, haven't you?
You wouldn't want to hear about it.
Try me.
I was dumped by scavengers. Outsiders who left me for dead. I thought I could come to Aya and feel safe with my people. Forget what happened. And now you're here. Seems like no matter where I go, I can't escape outsiders. All of you need to just go away and leave me alone.
You were jumped by scavengers?
On Eladon. They said they had salvage to sell. I was stupid enough to follow them. Once we were alone, they attacked. Left me for dead. Took my ship and flew off-world.
How did you get back?
I walked. 3 hours on the dunes with a few broken ribs. Rode back to Kadara with another salvager.
I thought Aya wouldn't take anyone from Kadara.
They don't. I told them what happened and they welcomed me. Ephra took me in. He says I'm a fighter, resistance material. I spent so long wanting more than what Angara worlds could give me. I was wrong.
You can't lose faith. Some of those outsiders care about you.
Like who?
Rorik, for one. He sent me to find you, didn't he?
You went to a lot of trouble for someone you didn't know. Why?
Lots of us are trying to bring some good to Helios. Like Rorik. Like me.
Rorik. I should have known he'd be worried about me. Can I see that bracelet again? He actually made it.
He said you can use it to visit him again.
It'll take me some time, but I think I can do that. I know Rorik. He'd blame himself if he knew what happened. It would be better if he didn't know the truth. It's your choice, but think about it.
My people on Kadara are fighting a bacterial infection. Do you have antibiotics?
Of course. Will this do?
I detect the infrared dye Sorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
That's our man.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me.
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal. Time of change. It worked well, until now.
The Vassal never accounted for outsiders living on Aya.
There's only so much room. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
I believe you. And I'm sorry for your loss. Between us, that botanist is kind of a jerk.
He didn't fear my anger. I respect that.
I'll talk to our ambassador. See if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us.
You call that effort? You couldn't knock out a scuttler with that.
Took humanity 8 years to get a Citadel embassy back home. Pretty impressive to get one here so fast.
All it took was handling some remnant.
It'll take more to keep this partnership going. Ambassador Riala will handle the embassy. Lets us focus on everything else.
Different encryption on this message. I can't make anything of it. Then set it aside and go back to the other batch I gave you. Yes, sir. Pathfinder, Next time you're on Kadara Port, I need a favor. The contact who helped us find Venturev hasn't checked in. He's overdue.
Don't know when I'll be there next, but I can look him up.
If he doesn't have a good excuse, he's fired. What do you need?
I'll let you get back to it.
Good.
Welcome back. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Visal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya?
I've heard of it. Why?
Angara are selling their slots to come here, so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Well, we have to do something.
We could let Angara who give up their slots live on the Nexus. It's safer than Vold.
Exactly what I was thinking. No one should suffer on our behalf. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll forward your proposal to Director 10 immediately.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
I found Kiloa seeds for Eos. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure EOS gets them. More of your outposts need help, if you have time. Vold's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. The solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find. Here, I have the antibiotics for Kadara. Will the settlers be okay?
Once they have these, they'll be fine. I'll make sure they know who to thank.
I managed to find an ionic filter for Eladin. Make sure they get it.
I'll get this delivered right away. They'll be relieved to have enough water.
You work on the solar panels? Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Vold.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.
Ambassador Riala said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer, but I won't be happy as just an observer. I need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
That's the whole point of this exchange. The Nexus needs people like you.
That's all I needed to hear. I'll have your ambassador start the transfer. Thank you.
Probe away. Anomaly found.
According to that astronomer on Aya, a satellite should be here.
I'm not detecting anything. If it was here, it's gone.
You mean destroyed?
I mean, gone. Destruction would leave debris. We've got nothing. Let's try another nav point. This system looks mostly unexplored.
It was charted. Once. Then the scourge happened. What's old is new.
I'm picking up something. Deploying probe. I found something. You're sure that astronomer's nav points are correct?
He seemed to think so.
There's nothing out here.
The Scourge didn't swallow a satellite whole. You can't do that, right?
I'll let you know. Let's check other nav points. Anomaly on sensors. Anomaly found.
Let me guess. No Angaran satellite?
No, but I've got something else. Message buoy from an Angaran ship. They came here looking and didn't find anything either. Left a marker for us.
Must be the team our astronomer sent.
They headed to a new nav point. We should join the party.
So this is where the human Ark first entered Helios?
Heck of a wake-up call. Anomaly on sensors. Deploying probe. Anomaly found. Probe away. Anomaly found. Stand by. I'm cutting through heavy interference from the Scourge.
We are pretty close for comfort.
Something's drifting just inside. Angaran ship. In pieces. No life signs.
Who did this? Ket?
I found the ship's log. Scanning and downloading. Scavengers. The Angara caught them stealing satellites. The Scavs fought back, and the Angara collided with the Scourge.
Can we find the scavengers?
I have their ship's transponder ID. It's registered out of Kadara port.
That's the research vessel Dr. Aridana informed us of. There are no life readings within.
She'll want to know.
Purging the scavengers that stole the Angaran satellites and destroyed the search vessel.
What are the odds they'll surrender peacefully?
Less than 1%.
Scavengers chopped those missing Angaran satellites into scrap.
I'll have the Tempest retrieve what's left for transport to Aya.
No Angara here. Just our people.
Marco believes the initiative came to help. He'll take this hard.
You're always a welcome sight, Pathfinder. Still no word from our search vessel. How goes your hunt for the missing satellites?
Your people caught scavengers from Kadara port stealing them. There was a fight. Your ship lost.
I sent them out. And risked your life, too. The scavengers, Angaran? Have our deserters preyed upon us again?
The criminals were my people. Exiles. They ripped your satellites into scrap. I brought what's left.
The initiative is supposed to explore, not steal and kill. Why would your people steal something that protects us all? Murder those who are only trying to help.
These were a few bad people. There are thousands of good ones out there.
How can we tell the difference? Maybe the others are right. What if you are no better than the Ket?
These scavengers abandoned the initiative, just like your deserters left you.
And we hate them too. Keep what your people stole and go. I can't talk to you anymore.
Sorry to hear things went south with that Angaran astronomer, Ryder. Found a silver lining, though. The scrap satellites are gonna come in extra handy.
Not as handy as what we could have had, but I'll take it.